Hello, 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 my darlings. Thank you for joining me on A Slice of Life, A Slice of Life, where if you're watching me, you know why you're watching me. We're super aging. We're getting older without getting old. And let me tell you, I have a book that I'm going to buy because it was written by, let me get this right, Dr. Eon K. Smith. You all know Dr. Eon K. Smith. Dr. Eon, he used to be on all the daytime shows where he wrote a book called Eat Your Age. I was so excited when I saw that. Eat Your Age. He was on Fox 5 Atlanta this morning and he had his nutritional book and he was talking about Eat Your Age. I just like Eat Your Age. I thought that was a very unique title. And then I said, okay, what does that mean to eat your age? I kept looking, and I found out that it's a nutritional eating plan. And he is saying to feel younger, to be happier, and to live longer. I liked his subtitle. I think I'm gonna use his book along with Super Aging. Once again, it's Eat Your Age. The book isn't out yet. I don't know him. He doesn't know me, but I like Eat Your Age. I just like the title. Like I like Super Aging. I'm gonna get his book so I can hold it up. Eat Your Age. So anyway, and it's all about feeling younger. You know we feel good and young, being happier. We got that on lockdown and living longer. Obviously, we do that. All right, so we've talked about as you feel younger, be happier, live longer. I wrote some things down. So at what age did you feel your joints creak? Man, the first time you feel your joint creaks, you know your joints start creaking and you feel something, you hear a crack, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. When did that happen to you? You know that first time you hear something go, what? Because you know we're looking good, we're feeling good, we're smelling good. But time says, baby, I got something for you on the other side. But the reason why we do this show is because when we have that on the other side, we just keep it going, keep it moving. Where's my little, I like my map. Okay. Keep it going, keep it moving, and know that we're going to be all right. So when did your joints start creaking? They will. If they haven't started creaking yet, baby, it's coming. But guess what? You just keep moving right past it. Find out what you need, what shot you need, what oil you need, what operation you need, whatever you need, keep it going. Put it on there because you got to continue to super age. The next thing I wanted to ask, when did your muscles start weakening? You know, I can't open things like I used to be able to open them. But guess what? I found you can buy little things to help you open jars. They got all kind of stuff for senior citizens. Don't feel bad. See, the whole point of all this, oh my nose itch, I'm sorry, is to not give in to what is inevitable. To not give in to what is actually inevitable. One, your joints are going to creak. Two, your muscles are going to weaken. But you find the necessary tools you need, or the necessary medication, or the necessary nutrients you need to help alleviate whatever pain or whatever inconvenience is associated with joints creaking or muscles weakening. The last thing, what about losing your coordination? I was trying to strut through the parking lot, looking good, good clothes on, feeling good, hair all suave, and kind of lost my balance. I was like, whoa. You know, I've fallen twice. A bad fall, a bad fall. One was a bad one. So I don't play with that. And I was thinking like, wow, Georgianne, you know, some stuff you gotta give in to some stuff. You gotta say, okay, let me not think I can rush. Because I was walking kind of fast. I've slowed my gait. I certainly have. I'm saying you fold into it. You see, you know how you fold into a situation. You don't have to rush in, but you fold into it. You come to some kind of realization about your body and you adjust. You make those adjustments and you make them, they're subtle adjustments, but adjustment because aging is subtle also. It doesn't hit you all at one time. It eases up on you. And when it eases up on you, you said one day this was working, and the next day they wasn't working. Wow. But do you give in? Do you throw your hands in the air? No, you do not. No, you do not. You say, okay, let me adjust to this. Let me do it this way. Let me give me a different walk. In my case, I had to get a cane. You know I didn't want that cane. I think the more I talked about people with canes, that's probably why I got one. I hate them. I hate it with a passion, but I will fall out there on that parking lot. My neuropathy said, keep on acting up. And you be laid out in the Publix. You know I love Publix, okay, in the dollar store. So I've learned, I'm just talking about senior moments. Our bodies do something different every decade. And what Dr. Ian K. Smith, who is a medical doctor, says, there are some nutritional supplements and nutritional ways to prepare your food with more what nutrition in mind that's going to help you every decade. Every decade. Here's the thing. Let me give you something what he said in the 30s. He said in the 30s you need vitamin B6. Well, I'm taking vitamin B6 now, and I'm in my 80s, so I don't know. But this is what he said. You need a milk and tuna and ricotta cheese. Got a whole list of things you need in your 30s. Well, we know in your 30s you're paying attention, but you may not be paying attention. And you out, you have lunch and brunch and all that going on. You got nighttime events going on. You got babies. You're eating what they eat. You got kids. You got Halloween. You got Thanksgiving. You got to cook. You got You got a whole lot going on in the 30s. So, but he is saying make sure you know that you need vitamin B6. And when the book comes out, the book won't be out until I gotta wait till January 2025. But in the meantime, it was so cute. Eat your age that I had to talk about it today. Fox 5 talked about it in Atlanta. Georgianne talking about it here because I was excited about eating your age. In your 40s, he said you need probiotic, plant-based in your 40s, plant-based food. In your 50s, you need bromelain, so pineapples and turmeric and squash and carrots. Now, all these things he's talking about for the 30s and 40s and 50s, I'm still on them. I haven't come off with any of this. Not at all. In the 60s, emphasis should be on omega-3, fatty fish, like salmon and vitamin B12. Now, I don't do vitamin B12 because I started on that. I don't know. My heart didn't like it. And then, guess what? When you get the 60s, guess what? Let's go to the 70s and the 80s. I could not find anything on the 70s. I could not find anything on the 80s. I was disappointed that they don't have, what is this? They don't have a list of things that we should have in our 70s and our 80s. And I said, wait a minute. He says it's never too late to start battling the age process. I'm talking to my seniors who are in the age process. So what about the 70s and what about the 80s? Well, Georgianne came up with her own 70s. I said, if you have made it to your 70s, you know that 30-year-old body, you good friends with that 40-year-old body, the 50-year-old body y'all met and said, ooh, things are changing. Your 60-year-old body, you said, But by the time you get to your 70s, you know all that has happened. And since you know the 70s, you're in your 70s now, then you get you a list of what works for you. And by this time in your 70s, you have been to the doctor a number of times. By now, your doctor's told you either got high blood pressure, no blood pressure, low blood pressure, ad infinitum. Having said that, then I put for the 70s, follow your doctor's advice. That's what I said. Whatever has been told to you, whatever you remember, whatever. By now, milk may not be the thing because, as we get older, our bodies don't like certain things, especially in the 70s. You kind of have to give up on some of that milk, some of that cheese, some of that dairy product and move over to soy milk. Or move over to oatmeal milk, whatever those milk, silk milk. I like it. I can't do milk well, but when I want to have some cereal, I go get one of those. I'm conscious of what doesn't work in my body. I know when I go out, I can't eat a full meal. My body doesn't like a full meal. If I go out, and I put a full meal on my body is gonna show out. I'm gonna be embarrassed, and I need to be at home. So when I go out, I nibble, and then I bring my meal home. That's my recommendation for the 70s. But the 70s is to know your body by now. Know what works for you. You can't run with the same people. My mother used to say, you ought to know how some stuff tastes by now. Woo! Come on, Georgia. You ought to know by now how some things taste. Uh-oh, I need to do something about my numbers are changing up here. I just noticed something. Okay, I got too many videos on here. Ooh, here we go again. But Georgianne went and found something to take all of them off, clean it all off, and get it ready. Okay, I'm sorry, I digress. Okay, listen. For your 70s, by now you ought to know what works for your body. Don't push it. Don't push it. I'm a 3 times cancer survivor, and the colon cancer, these last two, colon cancer is a whole different thing. It doesn't like anything, nothing. So I have to know that. So in the 70s, you gotta listen to your doctor at this point. Listen to yourself. Listen to your body. Your body is talking to you at 70. It's talking to you, saying, no, I don't like that. No. I don't want to do that anymore. And by now, you ought to know what stuff tastes like. That's what my mother used to say. She said, by now, you ought to know what chocolate tastes like, because I'm a chocolate queen. And she used to say that to me in my 50s. Now, so I'm all the way over here in the 80s. Talking about, I wish I had a piece of chocolate, but I don't do like I used to. I used to have the whole candy bar. Now I know to buy those little pieces and just get a little satisfaction. Find out what satisfies you. What is that little thing, that little something that satisfies you? And don't just eat a little bit. If you know that something tears up your stomach, but you like it, then you just kind of look at it, talk yourself out of it, or go ahead and get that tear up your stomach, be in the bathroom and say, ooh, so good. However you want to do it. But 70s, there is nothing that says, there's no list, no nutritional list. I haven't seen anything in reference to eat your age. So I'm sharing Georgianne's version. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just talking about me. Let's talk about the 80s. Okay, let me tell you about every decade. Now, my 70s, I had a ball. And I didn't know I was in my 70s. I was running up and down the highway. I was up there with Evelyn up in Florence, Alabama. She was preaching. I was riding back and forth for 5 hours. It's 5 hours between Atlanta and Florence, Alabama. And I would just roll up there and roll back. I had the dog sometimes. It didn't. I was doing this, that, and the other. I ran for office. Just 70, 70, 70, 70. I didn't know. But baby, when 80 kicked in, because I said, oh, this is good. I'm just everything is great. Da, 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 da. My body said, oh, we're in another decade now. Let me see how I'm going to act. I said, what the what? All my 80-year-olds out there that are fine and fabulous and frisky, you know what I'm talking about. 80 said, well, some days I'm going to be with you, and some days I'm going to be 80. And some days I'm going to love you, and some days you're going to look good. Some days you're going to feel good. Some days you're going to feel like doing everything you want. And some days I'm not going to feel like it. 80 got something for you, baby. But guess what? We made it. We made it. That's the important thing. We made it. And we're still here. So, Dr. Eon, I'll pick up where you left off. On the 70s and the 80s, let me tell you what I wrote for the 70s. I wrote, follow your doctor's recommendation, what I talked about. But what I wrote about the 80s, enjoy your food choices. Enjoy your food choices. Like, I know I still like chocolate. I have friends who go across town to bring me ice cream. I only want the ice cream from a certain place. And they go and get it, or I'll get in the car and go get it myself. All right? But I love that particular ice cream. And it's chocolate. Now, I like my chocolate ice cream with Crown Royal. Butterscotch Crown Royal. You tell me, I have to have a whole lot, but like you just sprinkle it over it. Okay, so I think you should enjoy your food choices. Whatever that is, If you know you can't eat a lot of grits, like I know I can't eat that. I know I can't eat a lot of things that I used to be able to eat. But I maybe get a piece of it just to give me a satisfaction. Maybe a little bit of corn, or maybe a little bit of potato chips, or maybe something. But I won't do like I used to. Just get me a bag of this and a bag of that. That's all in the 30s and the 40s. I'm saying when you get to your 80s and your 70s, you're going to follow that doctor. In your 80s, you're going to be like, what the hell? I mean, some days I'm like, I done made it to 8. I'm going to go ahead and eat this. Now, sometimes I pay for it later. I pay for it. But I have learned not to eat out. And so you're saying, well, baby, how am I going to take you out? You can still take me out. We can still look good. You'll have to help me now because I don't want to wear my cane if you're going to take me out. You got to have that arm. You got to know. But we're going to sit there and we're going to order the best meal ever. And you're going to eat your meal and I'm going to look at you and you're going to look at me and we're going to talk. And then we're going to say, can we get a to-go, please? And put all mine in the container and bring mine home. But we're going to be out together. We're going to look good, feel good, smell good. But I won't be eating. That's what I'm saying. You got to know. You got to know your body. I'm not saying in the 30s you have to know. I mean, you got a list of things you need in the 30s, what you need in the 40s, what you need in the 50s, what you need in the 60s. But Dr. Eon, baby boy, you didn't give me anything for the 70s and the 80s. What you're saying? What you're saying? What you're really saying? Whatever you're saying, we ain't saying over here on this channel. On this channel, we said what? Baby, we super age. We get older without getting old. So the 70s and the 80s, we need to have something too. So we got the Georgian version. All right? Something fell. Hold up. Okay. I got the Georgian version. And the Georgian version says, we in the 70s, you're going to follow the doctor. We already know what the doctors have been saying. And in our 80s, we're going to select and be mindful of our food choices. Right. We know what we like. We know how much of it we can eat by the 80s. We know what makes us feel good, what makes us sick, not feel well by the 80s. So in your 80s, because I got some of y'all out there, fine, cute boyfriends. Oh, my little Gigi. I said, I'm going to go over to this place right here. I said, my boyfriends used to hang out in that place. And so I said, I'm not going over there. I said, when I said boyfriends, oh my gosh, she was like, Gigi, did you say boyfriends? I'm like, okay, I can't have a boyfriend. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Let me just talk for the women. Men, youngins, quit making an assumption about what happens to women's bodies from age 70 forward. You worry about your body and your little pill. You ain't never, let me say it again, you ain't poor English and all. I know it's wrong. I know Dr. Annie Cheney Jones and Dr. Tammy Simmons would just have a fit with this, but you ain't never. And my daughter with her correct self. I'm going to go here. You ain't never heard anybody say a woman needed anything. Just want to drop that on you. All right. Well, eat your own age. Well, let me get it right, doctors, because I like Dr. Eon. Let me get it right. Eat your age. Isn't that a fabulous title? Eat your age. It's going to come out in 2025. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. All I know is what I do know. This. We're super aging. We're getting older without getting old. And we actually need to have a book like that, Eat Your Age. But next time, baby boy, I need for you to put some more chapters in there because we're living longer. People are living longer. I told you when you get 60, you got at least 30 more years. I'm 82. I retired at 52. Subtract. Okay. Eat your age. I can go on and on with that, but I'm gonna let it go. I'm just so happy about it. I'm so happy about it. I'm so happy about his whole idea of feeling younger. You got to feel younger. When you feel younger, you'll be happier. And if you're going to be happier and feel younger, guess what, baby? You're going to live longer. I love you, and you can't do anything about it.